Welcome back, Eigen family. So,
Hey, everyone.
guys, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out the Eigenbros.com, Eigenbros on Twitter, Eigenbros on Instagram, Eigenbros2 on TikTok. And we also thank our Patreon subscribers and supporters. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
and
we got
let's
a new
get
one
into
this
the
week.
episode.
Yeah, we got a new one this week. Shout out.
Indeed.
And let's get into it this week. We damn, actually, we're gonna have to redo this
Why?
because we didn't say like, comment, share, subscribe. Did
I
we?
did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna have to cut this out.
You're not paying attention, Juan?
I'm not. I'm zoning
We
out.
don't have to cut anything out. Just let it roll.
I'm seeing the levels. I'm just making sure Terrence is
Yeah.
is not blasting through the mic here.
Yeah. Not blasting yet.
No, not blasting off like Team Rocket. But yeah, this week there was a lot of interesting news.
Yeah,
that
it was.
I feel like we have to discuss.
And actually, we're recording this podcast kind of late, so we might actually be kind of relevant.
Yeah, for once.
Yeah.
For once, we might be
It
relevant.
might be like relevant news still.
Yeah, and it's but which one do we want to touch base on first?
Well, I guess I'll start since
Yeah.
this was probably the biggest one.
The salacious, or you want the scientific?
The scientific.
Okay.
The scientific. So, we were talking about the protein folding. So basically, Google came out with a I don't even know what it is. I don't know if it's software or an algorithm or something, but Google has a little program called AlphaFold, and they came out with this crazy AI program that's able to actually solve the three-dimensional structures of proteins just based on the amino acid compositions that are given to it. So it came out with like over 90% confidence in terms of the, or I guess matching with what the actual protein shape was supposed to be. It's crazy. It's basically like one of these really hard problems. The protein folding problem is one of these hard problems that was basically effectively solved, as they say, from this AlphaFold program.
Yeah, it just displaced all chemists and biophysicists in one.
Right. They're jobless now.
Yeah. Your days are numbered. Just kidding. No.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, I'm like, it's nice seeing all these like kind of AI machine learning big leaps nowadays. And I think it's just going to get more crazy.
Yeah.
It seems like we're just barely scratching the surface in terms of AI and what its capabilities are. But yeah, that's kind of a big deal because apparently, I mean, I didn't really even know this before until I started researching. Is that like protein folding is like the shape of proteins is like has a lot to do with their function. So, for instance, I don't know if you know about like antibodies.
Yeah.
So antibodies are basically, for those who aren't familiar, the proteins that white blood cells shoot out to attack cells. So the shape of them is a Y shape, and that Y shape actually is responsible for actually allowing them to be able to like attach to like viruses and bacteria and actually destroy them. Mm-hmm. So the shape is actually a big determinant in how the function of the protein, it's a determinant of the function of the protein. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And I think we were saying that this is going to revolutionize pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, potentially. I don't really know. I didn't really research in that end, but maybe you could actually talk more, Juan, since I know you're coming from a bio background in some sense.
It just seems to me like if you know how protein folding is to occur, you can almost back engineer or reverse engineer like pharmaceuticals or whatever.
See, I was thinking that it could also be used for like you can build your own kind of protein shape. Like you can say I want to build like this protein to do this.
Yeah.
So with this program, you might be able to extract. Maybe you can even do it reversible. I don't know if it is reversible, where you can figure out a shape and then reverse engineer what the amino acids are supposed to be.
Yeah.
Because
I think you could do that.
Okay, I'm not sure. I don't really know the extent of the stuff because I didn't read the paper, but I do know that they take the amino acids first and then extrapolate the shape from that. I don't know if it's a two-way street though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I imagine if you know the ingredients that come into making the shape, I don't know if the simulations run this kind of sequence or what kind of sequence they run, but it seems to me that you can now have. I would say the industry has been like dreaming of this scenario of like designer drugs that like give you That this is a good way to kind of get to an end result of like knowing, knowing the end result, like how the proteins fold and how it affects the processes and stuff, the biological processes and stuff.
Yeah, I think it's going to be quite powerful in the future, and I think it's just going to get better, honestly.
Oh, it's going to make Google's now going to like patent like certain drugs. Google's going to be in your pantry now.
Yeah, Google's will be making drugs and stuff now.
Yeah,
probably. Google's just going to take over the world.
I mean,
they're kind of a scary company.
Yeah, and I mean, like thinking about like, I mean, I thought about that. I made a joke about the job displacement thing, but that's like a legitimate thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
right.
Like,
because like they're, but of course you would hope that they just transfer over to new areas, which is going to be the case, of course.
Yeah.
But then, of course, it might make it so that you don't need as many researchers for this particular thing, maybe, or something. But I would hope that it doesn't transfer into job loss. I would hope it transfers into jobs that only humans can do for now.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
it allows us to
do other things.
To do other things.
Well, the idea is that technological innovations help us reduce the costs of producing goods, right?
Yeah.
So that I think we talked about this. I think you and I kind of agree that technology is the one thing that's going to get us to like a post-scarcity kind of society, right?
Ideally.
Ideally.
I think we all dream of the Star Trek scenario where we can just do whatever the hell we want, because you could just grab the food off the grocery store counter because there's just such an abundance, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's the ideal.
Yeah, but I'm saying like technological innovations are the only way to get to that. We're reducing the cost of like labor in some sense, right? Because we're getting machines and stuff to do it for us instead of freeing us from the toil of work and shit.
Yeah,
yeah. So, get ready, chemists, with your degrees. No, I don't know if because big pharma is going to latch onto this, I think.
And like try to get the AlphaFold algorithms and things.
I mean, Google's. I don't know if. Do you think Google would sell this? Google would probably keep it.
I'm not sure though. They might release it because I could see Google going either way. Because they're kind of a company that tries. They're a company that tries to be like a good guy technology company, at least on the front end. They like try to say that. And meanwhile, they're harvesting all your data, and then
Yeah, I think their motto is "Do no evil" or something.
Yeah.
But
so they're like half good. At least, or at least they try to be, I guess.
Yeah.
So I could see them maybe releasing it to the public, also because it's got such heavy potential use in research sectors.
Yeah.
There could be a rallying cry by chemists and biologists and whatnot to release that. And I could see Google doing it, but since they are a private company, who knows, right? Or public company, they are.
They're publicly traded company.
Yeah,
but
who knows?
But yeah, it would be. You're saying it would take an initiative by scientists to really push kind of the advent of like just like kind of like. Do you think this is as big as like vaccines? Like kind of like.
I think it could be potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see this being a gigantic thing. And I only know this. I'm only saying this based on what I've seen because I've literally seen on Twitter like every like science tech guy talking about this discovery, and it seems like it's a big deal. Although I have to say I am ignorant of the magnitude.
We're not like specialists in this.
Yeah, and I really don't know anything about protein folding. I mean, literally like zero. The only thing I know is what I just read in that article about AlphaFold. But from what it seems like a big deal within the community. So, of course, maybe one day I can read the paper and see exactly how big of a deal it is. But until then, I'm not sure. I just assume that from all the hoopla, everybody's like excited about it, and it's going to be a game changer.
Yeah.
So you got it pulled up here, huh?
Yeah. So this is an article by in Nature, published 2 days ago. It will change everything.
Yeah.
That's
okay,
the
so
quote.
there you go.
Yeah.
See, I saw this come out before there was even an article written on it.
Yeah.
I think a scientist probably did the tests on it, and then he got it super excited and tweeted it out because there were no articles on it when I was reading about it.
And then he mysteriously disappeared. He's like celebrating somewhere. Like, John Molt, quote unquote, said, "This is a big deal. This is a computational biologist at the University of Maryland. co-founded CASP, the Critical Assessment of Structure Prediction.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the competition that they all go to. So this was CASP 14 apparently.
Yeah.
When the AlphaGo hit that over 90% certainty, whereas the older one was like it was still the leader, I think, in terms of being able to solve the protein structures, but it wasn't nearly to this level.
Yeah.
I think this is like, since this is significant because it's effectively solved now.
Yeah.
Because it's over a 90% certainty.
Yeah, I mean, that's what they say. I mean, he's saying here that it vastly accelerates efforts to understand the building blocks of cells.
Right.
And enables quicker and more advanced drug discovery, which I guess is kind of like what we were saying.
Right.
Yeah, it's wild, man. This is and everybody's saying it's just people saying, parroting the same thing. It's a game changer. It will change bioengineering. It will change everything. It will change medicine.
At least they're not saying it's disruptive. This disruptive new technology.
But that's like science nerd talk. It's disrupting the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, disrupt is actually more like VC nerd or like
true.
or like Silicon Valley nerd stuff.
Yeah, true.
Less science.
Yeah. But yeah, it's wild stuff. I mean, the structure problem, they're saying that how protein works and what it does is determined by its shape, like you were saying. You know? The structure is its function.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah.
I would have thought that the actual composition of it would have a bigger role rather than just the structure of it.
No, but it has like that handedness of it is important. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but is the structure the most important part of it? Because it seems like the amino acid just really determines what the structure is, and then the structure does the structure encodes all of the function.
You would think, but I think the structure is a feature of the unique bonds that it has, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying, is it the structure that's the most relevant part, or is it the amino acid composition itself?
Well, their argument is that the structure
and I'm
maybe it's
wondering if
50-50.
it's all of it.
Maybe it's 50-50. I don't think.
But I don't know, because it seems like there's from the articles I've read, it seems like it's saying that the amino acid composition is how they determine the structure. So it seems like the structure is unique to whatever the amino acid composition is, and that is really the big indicator of what the function of that overall protein or whatever it does. So I'm not sure. We need some biochemistry people here.
Yeah, molecular bio people. Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I mean, I would say I'm gonna say it's 50-50.
I think it's a claim, though.
If somebody
I
in
think
the
it's
comments,
a bold claim, because 50-50, actually, you may think that that's like a safe answer, but I think that's a very bad thing to say.
Well, okay, let me not say 50-50. Maybe the structure, the composition informs the structure, I guess is what I mean.
I think you should just refrain from giving any numbers.
And vice versa.
Because you really don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say the composition informs the structure. How about that?
Yeah. I think that's true from the articles I've read.
Yeah. And this is
But
just
percentages, we're not going to put any numbers.
No, I'm not going to scratch any numbers. I'm not good with them. So but yeah, the just reading more about this here. I mean, it's just revolutionary. I think this is going to be. I mean, when you told me, I was like, "That's huge."
Yeah.
And this is just from.
It's kind of one of these things you
stuff.
can realize it's already huge just by looking at the headline. You kind of know.
I mean, once you solve a 50-year-old problem, probably older
is
than
it
that.
50?
I don't know. They've been trying to solve this since the 1970s.
Okay.
Probably earlier than that. Once they had computational parts to it, but yeah, I mean, huge.
Sweet. Yeah.
I hope Google actually releases it publicly and like Creative Commons or just a common for the common good. I guess.
Yeah. Now, my question for you, Juan, is: do you think Google's going to be able to solve any more crazy things within this recent time? Within a short time period from this, with other problems.
Yeah, I mean,
did I say that? I said that question so stupidly. I'm trying to say, do you think Google's going to come out with any more AI type things? Because they've had AlphaGo.
I don't know what that is.
AlphaGo is
Oh,
the one that did the Go. It solved the Go.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
better than all the leading world Go players.
Yeah.
This one's AlphaFold.
Yeah.
What's the next Alpha?
Alpha Brain. Like from that's a joke Terence might get. Maybe some other
And the Roganites will understand.
Yeah, the Roganites will understand. I think. I mean, obviously, they're technologically speaking, they're going to probably get the quantum computing stuff down.
So you think Alpha Quantum's next?
I mean, it might
Alpha
be
computing, but that's not I'm talking machine learning AI stuff though. Because
machine
quantum's
learning
like
AI
almost
stuff.
a separate stuff. Unless
I mean,
you're
who
talking
knows?
about applying it to quantum somehow.
Who knows?
No, anything you want to see? Like, can you think of any really heavily?
I mean, they might
computational
go.
things?
They might just use that AI specifically for like drug delivery, kind of like finding new drugs, like just kind of going through the simulation calculations.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about AlphaFold. I'm talking about another.
I mean, another venture like that,
yeah.
or you're saying a whole nother industry?
Not a whole nother industry, but something else that uses heavily like computational AI stuff or machine learning, has like data sets and things to solve some problem computationally.
I mean, I can see how it would be useful in like physics, like material science.
Okay, yeah.
Like if you could do that, like solve. Like imagine if you tried to solve.
Oh, like maybe dynamic systems, like Navier-Stokes stuff or something.
Well, I was thinking just more applications. Like if you're trying to find a material that can achieve room temperature superconductivity. You know what I mean? Like,
But is that dependent on the? Is that dependent on a heavily computational aspect? I'm not sure.
I imagine you can probably take in a number of data and like extrapolate maybe like what compounds might give you.
Oh, so like the particle interactions or something you're saying, like in like computing all those particle interactions to see how it actually.
Well, taking in known data. I mean, obviously, you it's as good as the person coding the AI, or as intelligent as what they give it. But but I would say I think it's possible. We have
the beauty of AI a lot of times though is the fact that it can solve these things on its own.
Yeah,
you just give it what to look for. So let's say if you were trying to find out superconductors, right? Let's say, just for an example, I don't even know this. Put a very big asterisk on this part because I don't know if any of this is true. But let's pretend that superconductors were like dependent on a particular molecular structure or something, and let's say that you can randomly generate a bunch of different lattices or something, and then the computer could just have this large data set of different lattices, and then it can run a particular simulation on. Let's say a simulation that allows it to cool down, or let's say it's a simulation that allows it to have a current run through it or something, and you can measure the resistance in the simulation. You can take that whole data set of all those different lattice structures and then keep, let's say, breeding them or something, like how they do with those programs with like, I don't know if you've seen the ones where they have like the programs where they'll have like a little wireframe guy walking. And then like he'll fall over or he'll continue walking, and they breed the best ones. Yeah, that could be something like that with, let's say, with superconductivity, room temperature superconductors, like you were saying, or perhaps you can breed some large data set of different structures or different lattice structures together.
Well, I'm just saying that like if you give it a particular set of data, like of where we have different types of superconductors and stuff, and their parameters and stuff, and like any relevant data that it might need that increases the critical temperature, right? So that it knows like it can extrapolate in some sense, like it can make predictions based on maybe composition. Maybe it finds a common denominator that humans don't see, right?
Right. But for the machine learning algorithms, I think particularly you need like large data sets.
Yeah.
So you're going to need some kind of training data for it.
I know, but I'm saying we have that in theory.
You think? I'm not sure though.
Like we have.
I don't know if we. But what would your training set be in this case?
I mean, I would give it all the different types of superconductors, right? Like.
Yeah, but I'm thinking that might not be big enough, because the only types of we know like 30 maybe different types of superconductors. Maybe it could be larger if you can
probably
like
less,
switch around.
I'm saying that there's common denominator stuff like like the Heusler compounds and stuff, and then like the d orbital compounds and stuff, and how maybe it can find some kind of connection that we can't see, is what I'm trying to say. Like between amongst these elements, I guess, or structures or something, because scientists don't spend. I mean, they're supposed to spend most of their time studying this, but I mean,
Mm-hmm.
most professors and grad students are busy bees, you know.
Yeah.
So like I wonder. I think it's possible. I think that might be maybe someone's already doing it. This seems like very
Maybe.
a thing that's like very doable. But it would take years. I'm talking.
There's a heavy asterisk on all this, though.
The thing that
'cause
I'm
I don't know if we're
proposing
even
here would
talking
be
sense.
somebody's PhD project, probably. But it would be very computational. It would be like heavily geared towards like making the code, generating it, and then like getting the data set, making it convincing. Like, because what you're saying right now would be kind of like a prospectus. Like if I was going to come to a committee of physicists and say, I think I can make a program that can predict compounds that might be room temperature superconductors,
Yeah.
you know? And then,
That actually kind of makes me think of an idea that I've had that I've always wanted to kind of do.
which is?
I've always
Are you
wondered.
sure you want to say it right now?
Yeah, it's fine because nobody's going to do it anyway. I mean, if you want to, by
2
all
years
means.
later.
I just don't think. I'm not afraid to put out ideas because
Mhm.
most people just don't have the fucking gumption to do them. So if you have the
True.
gumption to do it, then by all means take it from me.
Yeah.
But it's an idea for a website where you have a bunch of It's like a materials database.
yeah.
Where let's say if you're working with like what's a material that you work with in your lab?
Let's just say
Chromium something, right?
Just like let's just say tungsten diselenide or something.
So let's say you want to look up tungsten diselenide. You go to the materials database, type in tungsten diselenide, and then it gives you all the properties of it. It gives you the graphs of it, like the IV curves. It gives you how it the IV curves for if it's under certain temperatures as well, and it just gives you all this information. It gives you what compounds are related to it, other tungsten related compounds, others you said selenide.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, why don't we have like a database of all materials? Like I feel like that would just be so useful to have, where you just type in any material you want,
Yeah.
and then look at all the properties of it.
They have that for chemistry, but
Do
they don't
they?
have it for physics, I think.
Oh, if they have it for chemistry, then that's already.
They have it for
good.
chemistry, but it doesn't include what you're saying, like IV curves and all
Okay,
that.
yes.
That's what I'm saying
something
for
that has
physics.
all the properties.
But that's physics, like,
Yeah, okay.
Like-
And then it tells you like even like what it's used in.
yeah. But physicists are cheap. Chemists, I know most chemistry labs have like this program called ICSD. Letter I, C, and then S as in
Sierra.
Huh?
Sierra.
Sierra. Yeah.
That's part of the NATO alphabet.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
And then D Delta.
Yeah, Delta.
Yeah,
There you
got
go.
it.
You've been playing your Rainbow Six.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, the ICSD that's what they have, and it's pretty good at having like all the relevant information. I wouldn't say it has everything because it's just like it's not updated automatically. Probably what you're talking about is more of a system that's probably really useful for active research, right, in industry.
Yeah.
Honestly,
or people who are in private industry.
but that's pretty forward facing.
What do you mean?
Like front facing for like industry.
what? What
I'm
does that
saying
mean?
it's really useful for industry.
Oh yeah, it'd be
Yeah.
useful for everyone, right? Because then even researchers, I feel like researchers would kind of better tailor their research if they
yeah.
knew what materials they wanted to, or the material properties that they're interested in getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, it's like you're almost just dependent on what papers you find, right? Like the
Yeah.
organization of how research journals and papers are is not like great to me.
It's not.
Because like I'll look through papers and I'll see fucking convoluted ass title. I'm just like,
Yeah.
do I want to waste 10 minutes of my life trying to decode what this even means, or do
Yeah.
I want to just move on and find something more understandable?
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. Yeah. It's. I mean, it would be very. If anybody wants to start a business with this.
Yeah, I don't know how I guess you would monetize by having it subscription based. You
Yeah,
can do
for
it
sure.
like
I mean, that's what ICSD does. They sell licenses to universities, and
there you go.
But that's what I mean, and that's huge money.
Yeah.
So.
But you have to have, I guess, the coding skills, and also you'd have to be able to sift through all the research papers. So it probably require a team.
No, because if you build an algorithm that like detects.
Oh, you're talking
Certain-
like a what do they call it? keep wanting to say a spider,
It's
a
like- it's
crawler,
like-
a crawler bot.
Sure, but yeah. But it's like it's sorting. If it sorts through things
Yeah.
and then finds keywords, finds hot
True,
words.
true,
Because I
true.
mean, you already need to do that when you submit papers
True,
to,
true.
to journals. So
Yeah,
it's quite
there you go.
possible to build a crawler bot like
Maybe
you're
that's
saying.
our business one.
If anybody wants to start, if this is how we become yacht millionaires or billionaires, if anybody wants to start maybe sending some money our way, you can do that. Me and Terence will start coding.
Fund the Eigenbros materials database now.
Eigenbros Inc. Incorporated. We become a subsidiary company. But speaking of interesting things, Terence, there was some news that came out this week
Yeah.
about
Getting
monoliths.
paranormal now, huh?
I'm gonna drop that one in. Monoliths.
Monoliths.
They just started appearing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
This kind of flew under the radar, like on Twitter. I saw like it was just kind of making the runs.
Yeah.
And then it disappeared, and then people were freaking out.
Yeah.
And then it just all of a sudden appeared in Romania.
Oh, is Romania?
Now it's in Romania.
Ah. But it's a different one, it looks like.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a different monolith, but there's one in Romania now.
And the other one was in where? Arizona
Utah.
or something? Utah? Okay.
Yeah. Wait, no, Arizona. Yeah, sorry.
No, you might be right.
Oh, maybe.
Because Utah sounds like it rings a bell too. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, discovered in Utah. So yeah, like the article says, it's an NPR article. Cue the X-Files theme, folks. Did I write this article?
Yeah.
What the hell? The monolith mystery has deepened.
Yeah, so now we just got to find out if there's any like evolving monkeys in the area.
Is this from? Yeah, because they're saying this is from 2001.
Have you not seen 2001: Space Odyssey?
No, I haven't.
It's literally like the beginning of the movie starts with a monolith.
Interesting.
So the whole movie, throughout the entire movie, the monolith appears. It appears on like on a moon maybe, or another planet or something. It appears on Earth, and the monolith basically, of course, it's a Kubrick film though, so you know it's trippy as f***, and it's basically got all this symbology in it, and you can interpret it many ways. But generally, what I interpreted from the movie was the monolith is like a symbol of evolution, because in the beginning of the movie there were a bunch of monkeys who found the monolith, and then as soon as they found the monolith, they figured out how to use bones as weapons, and they beat the rival monkey tribe with bones. So that's when they first got weapons. Then later on in the movie, it shows people uncovering the monolith on like a planet or something, or maybe the moon, and that's when they had their technology of making like AI.
Dude, this just happened, and we just discovered the Google AI. Holy!
The monolith speaks.
Oh
Damn,
my
that's a tweet, Juan. Wow.
One of the greatest, like scientists are saying, this is one of the greatest discoveries that's happened in the past century, probably.
Yeah.
Dude, and the monolith appeared.
Damn, Juan, you cracked it, man. So the monolith appeared again in Romania. What are they going to discover?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe AI. This is the time scientists look back and they're like, "Yeah, that's when the first AI gained consciousness."
Wow, Juan, you cracked it.
Yeah. So it says,
The monolith never lies.
it says 2 weeks ago there was a monolith discovered in Utah, and yeah, it's just deep in the mystery of who put it there.
Are there any national labs in Utah that you know of?
No, not that I know. No,
Okay.
really, not really.
I feel like it'd be a great place for one because it's kind of like solitary, you know.
Yeah,
You could put like one of those neutrino experiments or something there.
you really could. The northern U.S., like I mean, most cities are the largest cities in the U.S. are all coastal. Like there are very few or near large bodies of water. Like even Chicago is close to the Great Lakes.
Right, because you
And,
get the harbors
Yeah,
back in the day.
yeah. And so like I don't think there are any major cities that are inland. I think that's pretty vacuous. Even Utah, I think, is.
And there could be now, though. There's really no excuse now.
That's
in
true.
in the modern age. I think it's just a product of the times, you know.
Yeah, where we needed water to do stuff.
Right. We needed water. We needed to be able to trade.
Yeah.
If you wanted to have any kind of big growth, I guess.
Do you move faster by boat than by like any?
Than any other thing?
Yeah, I guess.
Not over plane.
Oh, I guess when
That's
we
what you
didn't
mean.
have locomotion,
Yeah.
we kind of needed boats, right? Because you could use wind to propel you.
Yeah.
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 And that was really the way to get to anywhere else, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because you're not going to be I mean, you could either ride in a buggy or carriage across, and that's way fucking
technically
harder, right?
the shortest distance between 2 points is
but boats are way faster.
Is minimizing your geodesic. Yeah, so like you would
and it's probably much more comfortable too.
Yeah,
because you have so
boat.
much space. You know.
Yeah. I mean, a straight line, it's like makes sense. But it's just kind of what's your take on this?
I think it's probably an artist.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? That's pretty much my extent.
I think it's.
I don't know anything about it, though.
I want to believe.
I want to know if it's like, is it a solid piece?
Yes.
Is it multiple pieces? It's a solid piece.
It's a solid piece.
Is it embedded in the ground?
No.
It's just standing.
It's freestanding.
And is it heavy?
Yeah.
So it takes some manpower to move.
Dimly reflective metal. It's about 10 to 12 feet tall. It was the first one in Utah was reportedly found standing in the Bata Damne Plateau. Is that how you pronounce that? Batka?
Bro, I don't know this. Batka Damne
Plateau near an archaeological site.
A stroke.
Yeah, it's near an archaeological site overlooking the city. And a local radio station recorded video of the object revealing an eye-aching sheen. So it's like very dim, like metal. And looped markings along its surface. And there was one that appeared in Romania not too long ago, probably a couple days ago.
Now that I could see also being a copycat, the one in Romania, because people realized how much traction it was getting in Utah, and they're like, "We're gonna make a monolith."
Yeah, definitely. If they start finding these monoliths like in Antarctica and stuff, then it'd be like, okay, there's something going on here, like just weird remote places, Yeah, and the one in Romania is Carabelia.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be. It's going to be interesting to see.
I wonder how heavy it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to see monolith. What is this?
Maybe look at monolith weight. Stats.
give me the stats. I don't know. Like a lot of these.
Monolith weight. Look at monolith weight. Because that's going to be a critical piece in knowing how easy it is to transport.
I think so.
Oh, it says 12 to 15 tons?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. So here we go. We have some more information. A Colorado photographer said he watched the now famous monolith in southeast Utah fall to the ground. Interesting.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, that's probably going to be kind of anticlimactic because it's going to fall eventually, right? Unless it's super heavy.
Well,
and even then, probably it's going to still fall.
He had been taking photos for over an hour, and they heard voices of a new group rounding the corner toward the location because people wanted to take photos. And he said the people immediately started pushing on it, like throwing their whole body weight into it. It took maybe 3 big pushes to get that thing to pop up a little bit and start turning to its side. But yeah, once they were able to
so it is pretty
get
heavy.
it off the ground, it fell straight on the ground and made a loud bang. So it's something about how you don't leave trash in the desert. But yeah, it looks wooden though.
Well, that's the picture, right? Who knows?
No, look at that.
What is that, though?
This is a monolith.
Is that underneath it?
I guess on the side of it.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, they were just
They're
like
removing the monolith.
They're removing the monolith.
Oh, is that so? That's the group that put it there, or what?
I don't know. Someone said it was a cool thing to see, but it needed to go. Said Bernard's the wilderness areas, and they said leave no trace. That's kind of like the hiker's motto. Apparently, leave no trace. Like don't leave any trash, don't leave anything. And yeah, these people removed. There's a TikTok. These people removed the monolith.
What's the TikTok?
It's gonna be Sylvan Slacks. It's like it's got this front facing metal sheen, but then it's like carved out on the inside. It's not.
Sounded like it was heavy though.
It sounds like it was heavy, but it's obviously not alien. I was gonna say Asian. I'm hungry. I'm thinking about Asian food. It's obviously not alien because it's like, it's got this like, it's hollowed out. It looks easy. It looks like somebody just put it there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My first thought would not be alien.
I just want to believe,
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they got rid of it. And yeah, so here it is, folks. It doesn't have anything to do with aliens. Do you think it's aliens, Terence?
I'm gonna wager probably not.
What's your confidence rating on this?
At least 10%.
What do you mean? At least 10%?
At least over 10%.
What do you mean?
I'm pretty like 99% sure.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's like 99% not aliens.
Yeah. I mean, of course it's not really because I don't really know, but my first thought would not be that. It just seems like it's an artist because that'd be a cool art piece, right?
It is a cool art piece. There's a lot of cool photos that came of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I think the Romanian one is probably just a copycat who saw the fame of the other one and wanted to add to the mystery and said, let's do this.
It's too inspired by, like you're saying, 2001.
Yeah.
Would you say?
Yeah.
Way too inspired by 2001.
Yeah.
But that's cool. I'm a fan of Kubrick.
Do you think if aliens came, do you think they would be that cryptic? Like, let's see if they figure this out.
Maybe.
Really?
I could see an alien presence being more.
Do you think they'd make? You think their contact would be very?
I think it could be confusing.
Cryptic.
Because imagine if you have a civilization that's very far advanced compared to you. Imagine if we just went back 2,000 years to a caveman. They would just be completely confused by us.
Well,
right?
we'd show up. We'd be like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, they would just be completely confused because we'd be wearing these clothes that are like, obviously
well-fitting, and
they're not animal skin.
they'd be like drip.
Yeah, they would be
Swag.
swag. Yeah,
That just comes out of their mouth. They're like, "What did I just?" They're like, "Can't believe what they just said."
But yeah, it'd be very confusing probably.
Yeah.
And if we showed them our cell phones, I mean, my God, that would just be complete mind blown. So
Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be very confusing.
Well,
if they were
no, they'd be
advanced.
like, "Is that one of Moses' tablets?" See what it is? Yeah, no, I wonder. I don't know if aliens came. I think they would make direct contact. They wouldn't want to. They wouldn't
don't
really
think they would.
be shy about it.
I think they would because if they were advanced, which they probably would be if they're coming to us first, I think they'd probably see us as a threat.
A threat?
Yeah, because usually,
You think we're too emotional for them?
yeah, probably. Because I mean, if you just think about it as like comparing it to humans and like a lower species, like let's say even chimpanzees, they are a threat to us in some sense that we can still make contact with them.
Oh, we just don't
But,
know how they think. We don't understand.
But yeah, if they get violent or something, like you can't have a chimp as a pet.
We don't know their
You're not
triggers.
supposed to. Yeah, because they could get violent and rip your face off.
We don't know their triggers, essentially.
I think we know their triggers, but it takes a professional to be able to do that, and it's a risk always.
But do you think I mean, they've probably studied us already, right? If
Who?
they've
Aliens?
if aliens like,
I mean, you can't assume that.
I guess so.
How do you know?
But
Maybe.
But
If
if
they're
I
even
was
around, who
intelligent,
knows?
yeah. But if I was an intelligent species, I'd be like, let's study them and then manipulate them. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, I
mean,
wonder.
they could do that as well.
They could do that as well,
You know,
like pretend.
We've done that.
Yeah, for sure.
We do that with all animals, pretty much. So then, yeah.
That's how we
possibly.
farm animals.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly. So maybe
Yeah.
they would. But also maybe they wouldn't because maybe they would see us as sentient. Maybe they have some respect and see that we're sentient beings and they're like, we need to let them be. Because think of it like...
We don't have that with. Oh, we have with. Maybe they. You know what? If aliens saw us as pets, that would be the best case scenario.
No, because
But
you can
he's
think
cute.
of it...
Look at him. You can't eat him. He's cute.
But no, you can think of it like in terms of like how we think in like... of like whales or something. Like, of course, some civilizations hunt whales, but the U.S., we kind of treat orcas and whales as an intelligent
Yeah.
species. Like,
Yeah.
we try to stay away from them.
Yeah.
And we kind of get to this conclusion after a certain species exhibits high intelligence. You can think of it like in Star Trek, they have the Prime Directive, right? It's kind of I think it could be a concept that extends once you hit a certain level of
Consciousness.
intellectual ability, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Or consciousness.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I'm not. I mean, that's the thing is like you never know what the case is going to be when something's intelligent enough because you get new emergent phenomena
Yeah.
that we just can't predict really.
Yeah, true. I don't know. Just I'm pretty confident that if they were ever to make contact, it would be kind of it would be, for one, disruptive and alarming, but I think they would not go to like world leaders or anything like that, like how movies portray.
Bro, I
it.
don't know.
You know what I mean?
You're saying a lot for knowledge.
I'm just saying, like, it just doesn't seem like the most rational thing. Like, if they would just show themselves. I don't see any, if any, because people love doing this kind of stuff. Like, what's the most probable thing? And it's like, the most probable thing is they just show up. Why would they even? Why?
I don't know, man. Who knows?
There would be. To me, it makes no sense to do cryptic messages and fucking do like, what is it called? Crop shit.
Crop circles.
Yeah. There'd be no
Maybe
sense.
it's alien artists.
There'd be no sense to do any of that stuff.
Maybe Earth is their landscape.
No, it would. This is why
Maybe
I'm
there's
like
alien trolls. You never know.
If you ever see stuff like that, aliens would not be that cryptic. If they're an intelligent species visiting this planet, they would just show themselves. They wouldn't. That's just like us.
I think you're saying a lot based on nothing.
I'm basing it off experience, like historical relevancy of like how we interact with people. Like we come upon new lands and we interact with the inhabitants of that land.
Okay, but I think you should put more of a I think or possibly caveats on there because you sound a little bit too confident.
But it's more, because it's less probable that they would go. Why would you go cryptic? Why would you send weird messages and stuff like that?
But the thing is, who says the message is even for you?
I mean,
like you're ascribing too many things,
bro,
with no knowledge.
You're putting graffiti on my property here.
Maybe so. What if aliens have stupid people like us? We could have like the Trump supporters of the universe coming over here.
That's our land right there.
Right.
Whatever the equivalent is. Who knows? I mean, are there individualists?
The Trump supporters of Andromeda.
Make the galaxy great again.
Yeah, that's their logo. That's the alien Trump logo.
Yeah.
They're putting in the crop circles.
That's so dumb.
Make the universe great. Make Andromeda great again.
I hate it so much. They if that's the case, then be prepared for all-out war, I guess. Because we got our own like, good old boys that are ready to die for this, for not only their country but this planet.
Yeah, but our good old boys don't have force fields and laser guns.
But we are good old-fashioned lead, man. You know what I mean?
Aliens could be bending things with their minds, magnetic fields and whatnot.
Little do they know. I don't know. Little do they know that we have like, so many simulated warriors, because
simulated warriors.
Yeah, we have teenagers playing simulated war, becoming.
You mean in Fortnite?
In Fortnite and Call of Duty and stuff.
Warzone.
Yeah, we have so many people that are have been preparing hours upon hours of their day.
Yeah.
Becoming trained killers.
For the Great War.
For the Great War.
For the Great Intergalactic War.
It's like an Ender's Game scenario,
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the series.
Have you seen the movie?
No.
Oh shoot! It's like it's a story about how these children are prepared by video games to fight an intergalactic war. They think it's like a fun video game, like shooting space bugs and stuff. And then
and it's real.
And it's real. They're really preparing them to fight space bugs. And yeah, at the end of the movie, or the end of the book or something.
That sounds like Starship Troopers.
They're told that it's a real thing. Yeah, I think it's probably inspired. Maybe Star Troopers is inspired by the book.
Yeah, I think Ender's Game came first. I want to say.
Yeah, and yeah, that's kind of how it just devolves. It's just like, the kids learn how to. They're trained to learn how to kill in the video game, and just be good about it. And the Ender is kind of like this kid who's particularly good at the game because his reaction time is better. His KD ratio is like insane.
He's got that good sensitivity.
Kill to death ratio. He's using like a keyboard.
A WASD
configuration. Yeah.
He's got the nice
the gaming mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, but it's kind of like that. I wonder if do you think those skills translate at all? Does reaction time stuff?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, I think it translates to your hand-eye coordination a little bit. Not actually, maybe not hand-eye coordination, but it translates to reaction time at the minimum, right?
Yeah.
Probably to other things too, but I'm not sure exactly.
Have you gotten worse at it? Would you say?
Oh yeah,
as you've gotten older.
Because I don't play video games with that kind of reaction time requirement anymore.
But were you better as a youngin?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
So when you go back,
or you mean better in terms of what?
Just, do you think if you went back and played, let's say, something that required a fast reaction time, do you think you'd be as good as when you were a teen?
Probably not. Probably not. Also, because I had way more time to do that kind of stuff when I was younger.
Yeah, and what I'm basically getting down to is, if there was an intergalactic war, Terence, are you ready to fight for humanity?
Absolutely not.
Would you be
I'm the
ready?
scientist, bro. I'll make the bombs.
You make the bombs?
I'll make the guns. And I'll design the new tech, but
you'll send the young ones.
I'll do anything not to fight.
To go fight. You'll send the young ones.
Yeah, I'm not trying to die. I'm not trying to be the human meat shield.
You'll be like the guy from Independence Day. The
dad?
Honey, going home. What does he say?
Where he crashes into the thing?
Yeah, he delivers the nuke. By directly. I would do that. I'd probably do that.
Hey, yeah, if you're in a war, you gotta do that stuff, right?
Yeah, for the greater good.
Yeah.
What a legend.
Do you think you could handle the
pressure?
The pressures of war?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I think you probably could.
It just would suck.
I just laugh about it. No, I'm just kidding. just in the
Juan's
pits.
got the maniacal, insane laugh.
No. If I was in, honestly, yeah. I think if I was in World War I mean, obviously traumatic. But any
Let's
of the
be
world
real
wars,
though, we'd probably both die first.
Yeah,
we'd
for
both
sure.
get shot with a stray bullet.
Yeah. No, I think we're too intelligent to be in the.
Well, that's the thing is
on the ground.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We'd probably be. I would be a sniper if I could be.
Well, we'd probably be intelligence, like you're saying. We would be manning some kind of. Equipment, most likely.
Yeah. We would not be Marines.
No, like anything. I'm like. Yeah, like I would go for like Air Force or like, something like that, or maybe like a submarine operator or some kind of intelligence, or maybe even manning, like for nowadays, like the GPS infrastructure or something like that.
Yeah, or artillery or something maybe.
Yeah, with a physics degree, we would be able to get pretty high.
Well, let's just assume you're not in physics. Let's just say you're just a lowly.
Oh, then I'm going to get shot.
My luck, I'm the guy who gets shot by a stray bullet for sure. I'm ready to go. I got my fucking, bullet tassels on. I'm like, let's do this.
Yeah,
and then our stray bullet just fucking kills me.
Yeah. Just hits you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. No,
That's
I think,
luck.
or you die of like foot. What is it called? It's like that.
Like gangrene or something?
Gangrene, yeah, because your foot's in the mud all the time, and then you get a small infection.
Yeah,
and
that
it
would
spreads.
definitely be me.
Yeah. I mean, that was literally half of our fucking army in World War.
Yeah, that's the real brutal reality of it, right?
Yeah.
At least when you think you're in the army, you think you're going to die a glorious death. But most likely, you're just going to die in the stupidest way ever.
Like you're going to get wounded, and then you're going to get an infection.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, a lot of people died that way.
Or you're going to die from like food poisoning because you ate a bad biscuit.
Yeah. It's likely. It's very likely.
Yeah.
No, but I think I would like to be a sniper if I could be one.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Do you have any experience shooting guns?
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, it's just a very technical skill to do that.
Yeah, it is. Very hard.
Yeah, because there's some physics involved, man. You have to think about the Coriolis effect.
Right.
And then you have to think about wind direction and stuff. And you have to have somebody there.
And you have to have a very steady hand.
You do.
You don't have to have someone there.
Yeah.
No, it helps if you do.
It helps if you do, I guess, because then you can.
That's the modern snipers is what you're thinking.
Yeah,
because the modern snipers have all this crazy equipment to be able to measure actual wind speed and, the arc, the distance arc, and the Coriolis force, like you're saying, all that stuff. But that's fancy new modern tech.
Yeah.
Imagine the snipers back in the day where it's just a guy in his fucking magnifying
Scope.
glass scope. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe they had to just build an intuition. No, they definitely had to have.
they did
some
have to
kind
build
of-
an intuition.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not enough to just maybe lick your thumb and just.
Well, that's what they did.
caution.
They would
with
do like rudimentary tests, like licking
Mm.
your thumb, like you're saying. Feel the wind. They would know kind of like the distances and be able to calculate these things. It was kind of like playing golf,
Mm-hmm.
because you know how the golfer has to have a very golf.
I know
golf
nothing about
intuition.
golf, Terrence.
Well, basically, golf intuition is similar because they have to know like how hard to hit the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They got to really do it in such a way where their stroke is right, where they're not going to slice to either direction,
Mm-hmm.
but also put enough power in it where you can get as few strokes as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to calculate wind speed and things in a rudimentary way.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, when you're putting, then it gets into also knowing the terrain. You know, you need to know the slopes of the terrain and whatnot, and also like the wetness of the grass and things.
Interesting.
So it's a very like feel-based sport that's kind of reminiscent in many ways to sniping, I would believe.
Yeah. I mean, you have to take in a lot of information, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to do it all in like a kind of
It's very cerebral, I guess, is what I'm
Sense-
trying to get to.
yeah.
You're taking a lot of sensory information and making
Right.
sense of it and like kind of like sorting.
It's cerebral and physical at the same time though, because you're
Yeah.
translating these best guesses based on intuition into physical movement.
Yeah.
Which is very hard, right?
Well, that's why it sounds appealing to me.
yeah.
'cause I'm
Sounds
like-
cool.
It's way better than just like aiming. I've shot guns before, like,
Yeah.
and it's just like, okay, I'm just supposed to point and shoot, and I have pretty decent accuracy. Like, I don't have.
Are
I'm
you always a
pretty good.
sniper camper in the games?
Yeah,
God damn it. man.
I am.
I'm always the tank in games.
Really?
Yeah. The guy that just is like the human sponge. I like being the human sponge.
The support. The
one that. Well, I guess it is support.
It is
yeah.
support. Yeah.
Taking all the damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, it sets up the tactical plays. Because
Yeah.
if you're the support, if you're the tank, you
Because you initiate.
strategically,
Yeah.
you're the
Yeah. And you can also direct fire away from
yeah.
the people.
You set the strategy in motion.
Yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like playing. I guess I'm also kind of a support because snipers typically don't play like offensive.
Oh, main role.
Yeah, they don't
Okay.
play offense. They play like.
But snipers, you could almost think of as like a glass cannon in some sense,
What do you mean?
because the damage is so huge.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's a very what would you call it? It's kind of a very critical piece to the puzzle.
To yeah, I mean for sure.
If we're talking like
But
video
I'm
games.
saying there's still support like
Okay.
in some
I guess
sense.
infantry would be the main.
assault.
Okay. Yeah. The
Yeah,
assault.
yeah. Because you can never as a sniper you wouldn't
Yeah.
take out a whole army unless you were
Right.
in that movie. What is that movie called? There was a movie with the sniper that took out
Yeah.
a whole platoon or something.
Well, I know Inglourious Bastards had a guy like that.
Really?
Yeah, because remember Hitler had the movie premiere for the guy who was like a
Oh,
super
yeah.
Nazi war hero,
Sniper guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he took out like 100 or something troops or something single-handedly.
Yeah.
And lived.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there was a movie about this person. I don't know if he was a Nazi though.
Probably
Now that-
not.
now that I'm thinking.
I don't think we celebrate Nazis like
No,
that.
I know, but it was in World War I or II. But I only know this because I played Call of Duty, I think 2, and that was off of one of the World Wars.
Was it Bradley Cooper, American Sniper?
I don't know, not at all. With the fake baby. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was. I'm just gonna say the scenario, but you're in a tower in the town, and you have to fight basically a whole infantry off, and they basically simulate the scenario that this guy was in, and you're playing it in the video game. Like you're just dropped on the map, and it's a farm town or something, and they tell you to like this is your location that you got to go to, or maybe the plan like is, if I remember correctly, the plan is to do something else, but then plans change. Your plan is screwed. Most of your men die, so you have to go to the tower and then like defend your position, and then at the
You gotta
end,
snipe some motherfuckers.
so you snipe like a bunch of people, and then like at the end you die.
Oh, damn. In a
Because
blaze
that's
of
what happens
glory.
in real life.
Okay.
Because that's what happened in real life, and then like that's the story of that guy. I forget his name, but
Okay.
it's an incredible story. The fact that video games kind of, and the fact that video games can like make you kind of part of that history is intense.
Man, that's how I learned all my history from video games.
Are you serious?
Pretty much.
I know a lot of history from video games that I never learned in school.
Are you serious?
That's the stuff that stuck the most, probably. Yeah.
Okay, like from what video game? I mean,
Age of the Empires taught me so much.
oh really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that was probably almost all my whole world history right there.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
So make your kids. Actually, I would do that if I was a professor or not a professor, a teacher, like a high school.
It's
teacher.
fun, man.
It's a great way
It's
to
like,
have
why
kids
not?
learn. Like,
Yeah.
why not? I think if I could teach physics using a video game, I would totally do that.
Right.
Like Angry Birds was the closest thing to that
Why is that?
because you had to calculate angle for project. It's a projectile. game.
For
It's
physics.
For physics, it's literally projectile physics. The game. Like, you know what I mean? Like you just
Right.
have to get the angle right, and then like
You could make it a physics component, though, and make them actually calculate the angle and measure the distance,
yeah,
as well as the initial velocity.
yeah.
I always thought about that. How could you make a cool calculus game with differentiation and integration?
I thought about that too for a while.
It's kind of hard to. I can't think of any good ideas though.
I thought about a website that you could like make. You could sort of gamify calculus.
That's the same thing I came
Oh, really?
up with too. Yeah, that's the only cool thing. It's like you can make it so like you can say, oh, I want to use this technique. Like you get an integral or something, right?
Yeah.
And you say like, oh, I want to do a U sub, and then you get to
Yeah.
choose what your U sub is, and then
Yeah.
you can, it just like does the work for you. It's the
Yeah.
same as doing it by hand, but
Yeah.
you just don't have to write it down, and you can solve the integral using those techniques.
And that's amazing. Like I wanted to do that because a part of my laziness was just writing things down.
Yeah, exactly. Which I think is probably a lot of physicists, especially just writing it down, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If you just sit on your phone.
And just
Okay, this is how you solve it. All right, good enough.
yeah.
Yeah, I had a lot of those moments where I was just like, man, it'd be cool to have a game where, because like you would you do those like quiz things, not quiz things,
Like
those,
brilliant.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
like those like calculus things where like you have to manually evaluate the integral and then it pops out an answer.
Yeah.
Or you type in the answer.
Yeah.
And you
But you
wouldn't
do the
know.
work because you do it on paper.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the annoying
yeah.
part.
It's like you're supposed to take away that part.
Yeah.
Just make it so you just say like, oh, I want to do U sub and tell what it is, and then it just does the work.
Yeah,
That's
because
the
then
fun part.
Yeah, because then you get immediate. For me, it was wanting immediate feedback.
Yeah.
About the
Yeah.
process, like if I'm doing something incorrectly, like imagine at the end you do all this work and at the end you plug in the answer and it's wrong, and you're like, there's a frustration that is like. You just kind of fold your hands and you're like, fuck.
Because it's usually also your algebra that's the mistake, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like not even the calculus part.
Yeah.
It's like just all the in between stuff. And
So
like,
that's our next venture right there, Juan.
Damn, we already came with three.
A phone app for lazy bastards who want to do calculus. And that actually be really good for people who don't know calculus either, because then you could just mess around
Yeah.
and see what happens, kind of.
Yeah, no,
That'd be cool.
It's a great. I mean, you could sell it to tutoring companies.
What would the name be?
I had a name for this company that I was thinking about. Like,
What was your name?
It was like something with. It was a play on calculus. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember. It was like 10 years ago now.
Oh, okay.
But did you have a name?
Sluts. I don't know. I'm just being stupid now.
Calcu-slots. I don't know. It was something funny, but I also had this other idea of like a whiteboard like eraser, but it's like a glove.
You told me
I
that.
told you about this.
Yeah.
It's really silly.
I'm like, Juan, why don't you just use the eraser, bro? I'm not wearing a Michael Jackson glove to erase
Just
the
it looks
board.
cool. It looks cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could be like, "Hello, kids. Welcome to another lecture." And you're just putting on your gloves.
That's when you know that you're the ultimate nerd. You've
Yeah.
got an eraser glove.
You know, we got to get to work. It's because so many physicists back in the day used to be like, they put on suits to go to lectures, and they feel like, I'm a mechanic. I'm a quantum mechanic.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Or I'm a classical mechanic.
So if you have a mechanic's glove,
Of a glove. Baby, I got to wash my gloves
it'd be like a
for
white
work.
glove for chalk.
Yeah, for
Okay.
chalk. Yeah. Babe, my work gloves are dirty. Oh, my hands are so dirty, baby. They're like all dried out from just.
We need a chalk resistant pair of black pants. That would
Yeah.
sell like hotcakes for physicists.
Yeah,
'cause
that
my
would.
God, those bastards always have chalk all over their pants.
And nowadays you have targeted ads, so you can definitely have like
Yeah.
you can just like
Tired of looking like a
well no because like Well, the I'm gonna have to bleep that one. I had said something in my on my phone. I was talking about. I kept repeating one word, and then on Facebook it was like, you might like this thing, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, damn.
Oh, it's been listening in on you.
It definitely listens in on you.
That's creepy.
And
man.
even though
they deny it so hard,
and they
too.
deny it so
Yeah,
hard, but
they
I'm
do.
like, you bastards.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Yes, I don't know, because
You
you don't know that
bastards.
you can't see the code, right? You can't see the source
No,
code.
but they're definitely listening, and I don't have them enabled to listen in on my mic stuff.
Right.
So they're doing something.
But I'm like, is it just that your pattern of behavior just points you towards that direction?
No.
So I'm like, I don't know.
No.
But then I was like, I don't know.
Oh,
man.
you know what it probably is? It's because I think Instagram does have access to your mic.
That's what I'm saying.
And Instagram owns its own
Oh,
Facebook.
there you go.
So
And they're translating that information over to Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg would do that too, for sure.
sly.
Yeah.
You sly devil, you.
Yeah.
He's gonna actually. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he's installing the monoliths because he's ready. He
As
wants
a way
to
to listen in.
He wants the world to be ready for when he reveals. Once he peels off his skin, reveals the real alien being underneath his.
He already looks like Data from Star Trek.
There's so many memes of him because I'm like, bro, get some sunlight, man. Like, what's going on with you?
Well, there was that iconic photo of him on the surfboard
Oh,
with all
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
sunscreen.
Like, you're not gonna die. Like, I'm just like, get some. I don't know. Do you think he plans on living to be 100 and something?
Oh, sure. For sure.
Because he's doing so many things to just like. I'm sure during quarantine he's like, yeah.
Yeah, he's probably injecting some kind of serum already.
Like it's
Some kind of longevity
yeah, those
serum.
Silicon Valley guys are also super like just particular about certain things. Like they will like there was a trend where they were getting young people's blood transfusions. Did you hear about this?
No.
They,
Not surprising though. Young people's blood has been a thing for like people trying to find the fountain of
vitality.
youth forever, right?
Yeah. But there is some grain of truth to that apparently.
I'm sure it is because
Yeah.
it's young blood cells, right?
Yeah.
But I'm sure it has an almost negligible effect on you if you're like
Probably.
40 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But it's kind of like, man, you guys are just so. I don't think I'm trying to think what level of wealth I would get to have weird, like what is
When it starts getting weird.
when I start getting weird, like I start doing weird things that are not I shouldn't be doing. Like at some point,
Probably about 20 mil will start getting you there for sure. I think once you start hitting 20 mil, you're going to start doing some strange stuff.
So you're saying like you just get to a certain like it starts affecting your psyche of like what is
Yeah. That's to me the upper limit. It could go lower than that, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure 20 mil is going to start getting you to do some weird stuff.
you're like what are my upper bounds of human decency and behavior? Let me think.
Because at least at that point, you can start affording things like sleeping in hyperbaric chambers or like
Yeah.
getting IV drips every day. Like,
True.
yeah, 20
Paying-
mil is definitely a solid number for that.
You could probably pay somebody for a new organ.
Yeah.
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 Wow. I have all new organs. I have the organs of a 24-year-old. And I'm 45.
And then you die of it in a car accident.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like these people are just so like absurdly. I don't know. I guess.
But I feel like you, of all people, Juan, you would definitely get into some crazy self-care
Don't say that.
because you already are so concerned about self-care.
I am. I know
You
that.
gotta be. You're gonna be sleeping in a hyperbaric chamber, bro. If you get 20 million,
I am. I know I am. I'm
definitely
already
gonna happen.
I'm already gonna set boundaries if I ever reach that level of wealth.
you're like, you're gonna just kill me if I ever get to this level.
Yeah, I'm gonna hire a hitman when I first make my first million. And say, if you ever read an article about, no, just like hire a sleeper cell. Like,
Yeah.
If so when,
So you don't know when it's coming.
yeah, no, but he or she's activated by like a certain phrase.
command.
Yeah. So
He just sees you in the pocket saying, "I've purchased my hyperbaric chamber," and then he like activates.
yeah. Honey, I'll be back.
Yeah.
And then just like 3 days later, honey, where were you? Just taking
Wiping the blood off.
wiping the gloves that you
Yeah.
know, that I made for my subsidiary company of chalk gloves. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is
Yeah, we're going. So, yeah, this is one of the dumber podcasts there. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed it though.
I'm sorry, y'all. It's finals week.
If we're too stupid, let us know.
It's finals week. I'm sorry. There was it was post Thanksgiving.
I like the stupid podcast though. Honestly,
Yeah. It's just post Thanksgiving. Finals is coming to us, I guess, reaching us, and yeah, so we really didn't have any. Well, we just wanted to talk about the news. So.
Yeah.
But,
so let's wrap it up. So thank you guys for listening, and if you guys like us, please make sure to support us on Patreon if you're interested. Just $1 a month, you get access to a 30-minute podcast.
At least there's been hours. We've done hours.
Yeah.
Recently.
So yeah, and that's every week. So make sure you guys check that out. And then also, guys, check out our website, Eigenbros.com. Check out Eigenbros on Instagram, Eigenbros on Twitter, and Eigenbros2 on TikTok. And then also make sure you like, share, and subscribe if you haven't.
Yeah.
And that should be it. Anything else, Juan?
No, that's it.
All right. See you guys.
See you.